Glenn, scientists say that climate change is making these heat waves more frequent, causing things like droughts and wildfires. Just how concerned should Americans be about the climate crisis right now?
I think they should be very concerned. Pick up the paper, turn on your television. Massive heat wave going from Las Vegas to the East Coast, multiple days at triple digits, breaking temperature records.
When you think about climate change, what comes to mind? Melting ice caps, rising waters, and CO2 pollution are all obvious answers. But many people don't realize that there is another deadly product of this growing climate disaster that is not only harming people right now, but is largely invisible: the heat island effect.
Briefly, the urban heat island effect is the fact that city centers, because of the built environment, the concrete, the asphalt, the buildings, tend to be warmer than the surroundings. And so we're interested in understanding how much warmer the air temperature is inside of the city versus outside.
Well, to start with one, we're not the only ones operating in this space. We are partnering with the Voces project to really capture the lived experiences of residents in Camden to environmental exposures, whether you're talking about heat or other conditions. And so we're pairing this with their work to kind of create a larger ecosystem for adaptation and understanding the human element to climate change and its effects here in the city of Camden.
Most of the Hispanic community works outside. And then my brother-in-law has a landscaping company. I've worked myself in landscaping during COVID because there was nothing else to work on and I had nothing to do in my house. But if you focus on the big amount of people that make a living, that bring food to their table by working outside, and then you start realizing that there is a big concern with health issues like diabetes and extreme heat shock and all of that kind of thing that can arise as a result of spending too much time in the heat.
Someone who doesn't have like the enough resources to combat that specific issue. So like, for example, some people don't have air conditioner or some stuff like that. And I think it's important to highlight those challenges that they face, even in things like signs and posters and everything else, to make like not only that Hispanic population aware of the issues, but also other types of populations like the English, like the Americans, African Americans, and other people. Like everyone should know about each other's issues. And I think working with design is something that can really help with that.
I think that really added up and made an impact to see like an actual picture of adding factors together and seeing the importance of the project and how it really is meant to help the community as it is.
We're using it to collect urban measurements of weather conditions. When you look at like large-scale forecasts and the like, they don't actually capture what's happening in urban centers. You don't put weather stations, in downtown Camden or even in more urban areas generally. So we're intentionally bucking the trend a bit to put some weather stations in Camden. This is one of two that we currently have to actually measure what people may be experiencing when you're in Camden itself, as opposed to, say, the Philadelphia airport. So when you look at adaptation for extreme heat, there's a number of different solutions that may depend on where you live, the resources that you have available to you. And the fact that we don't have measurements in cities to know exactly how hot it gets is a very severe limitation to what kind of adaptation measures you may be able to employ. Maybe you'll be able to put in more trees in a certain location to help alleviate the urban heat island. Or maybe that's not feasible where you live, and using an information like this can help advise when you need to have high heat warnings for a particular location, to advise people maybe not to go outside or to find a cooling center like a mall or somewhere that they can actually go to cool off if it's going to be a hot day, especially for the next few days.
To confront this issue, we not only need the effort of academic institutions, but the voices of the community to understand these problems and discover equitable solutions. That is the mission of Voces de la Comunidad.
Well, the main goal, I think, is again to make climate information and health information available to the community. The idea is to do that through creative ways like zines, not just pamphlets with like bullet points of information, but it could be in a fun way, creative way. Also, this is a way for me, for us, to empower residents also and to tell their own story. And that's another goal that we are interested, not just educate them, but also listen and share different stories and different knowledges.
But also they share their experience and they share how they feel, what way we can improve, what they will need to hear from us, or the student or our project need to do to engage them, then listen to their experience, because that's what they share with us in the end. Also their experience, how they feel impact with the heat, and something that probably we are missing from the human part of the project.
At the same time, we want to support students in learning how to communicate this research in a culturally relevant way, like Evelyn was talking about. So those are the main goals, I think, of the project.
Voces prides itself on bridging the gap between the sciences and humanities, understanding that climate change is a universal problem that we all must work to combat. As such, Voces works to both advance scientific research and to translate that information into a digestible format through community zine-making sessions.
One of the things that I think about when I think about this project, and you say like the words like environmental justice in the community, on the streets, and I think that kind of means like you think about the climate and you think about like nature, but this project does a really good job of making the connection that environmental justice also includes the people that are in those environments and that are impacted by environmental change.
With the collaboration of the Hispanic Family Center and other community partners, Voces distributes its bilingual educational zines so that vital information can reach the community and be disseminated widely. Additionally, the Rutgers Community Heat Assessment and Monitoring Program, or CHAMP, is conducting urban heat mapping and deploying heat sensors across Camden to collect real-time information and help more accurately measure the heat exposure in Camden. This is just the beginning. With more support and funding, Voces will spread its message of cooperation and communication. You too can help the cause. Go to our social media and learn about climate change and environmental justice. If you're a Camden resident, share your climate story with us and let your voice be heard. Participate in our community events. We believe that to truly address environmental justice, every voice must be heard.